everyone. Hi, how are you all doing today? I welcome you all to another lecture with Zenith Academy Online. I'm Shravika Jamnik and I'm going to be your teacher for today. Today, as you can see, we are going to learn about bones and muscles. So let's begin. Before we begin, let's learn what an organ is. An organ is a part of the body which performs a specific function. Keep this in mind, it performs a specific function. A number of organs combine together to form an organ system. So, let's see the organ systems that we have. We have the circulatory system, the organs in this. You can see there's a heart, there are different nerves for circulation of blood, and the specific function that is performed is circulation of blood. There is nervous system. We have already done the chapter on nervous system. The organs here are the spinal cord, our brain, the spinal cord, and nerves. Respiratory system. The specific function here is to be able to breathe. Digestive system. The specific function is to digest our food. And today we are going to learn about these two systems, the skeletal system and the muscular system. So let's begin. The skeletal system. It must be evident what constitutes the skeletal system. The skeletal system is made of bones. The framework of bones in our body is known as skeleton. This is a skeleton and it is a framework of bones in our body. How many bones are there in our body? An adult human being has 206 bones. Now, adult is mentioned here because in case of a baby, the number of bones are more than 206. Human skeleton consists of, there's the skull, rib cage, here the rib cage, backbone, this is the backbone, and our limbs, the forelimb, this, and the hind limbs, this. Now we are going to learn about these parts one by one. The first is the skull. Number of bones in our skull is 22, and these bones and among these bones, 8 bones cover our brain. Here they cover our brain, and 14 bones form our face. So important thing to remember is the bones in the skull cannot move. Except there is an exception, only the lower jaw bones can move. This you can see, this is the lower jaw and only these bones can move. Now, the movement of these lower jaw bones is important because it helps us to eat, to speak, to chew our food. So, therefore, the movement of lower jaw bones is important. What is its function? It protects our brain, the very important part of our body. Brain is protected by our skull. Next is the rib cage. Rib cage. Now, ribs are present around our chest. If you touch your chest, you can feel the ribs, the bones present there. Ribs form a cage-like structure. So, as you can see, this is a cage-like structure. It's like a cage that's protecting certain organs inside. The organs inside are, there's lungs, 2 lungs, one lung on this side, other lung on this side, and there's a heart. Heart is slightly on the lefter portion of the rib cage. So the cage is there to protect our organs, lungs and heart. Sternum holds the ribs in place and here in front. Okay, so this big bone you can see extending throughout the rib cage. This is the sternum. And the last two bones are not attached to the backbone and they are known as hanging ribs. We'll see the hanging ribs. First, let's see the number of bones in the rib cage are 12 pairs. 12 pairs means 12 on this side and 12 on the other side. And amongst these 12, last two are hanging, okay, hanging ribs. What is the function? As I mentioned, it protects certain organs, that is the lungs and the heart. Let's take a look at this in detail. So this is the rib cage. The last two bones on both sides, they are not attached to the backbone and they are known as hanging ribs. This bone in front that is connecting the 10 pairs of ribs, this is known as the sternum, and there are organs present inside this cage. Mainly there is the lung, one lung on this side, other lung on this side, and there's the heart. So I hope the rib cage is clear. Moving on to backbone. It is attached to the skull. So above this backbone is our skull. Number of bones is 33. We are able to sit, stand and bend because of our backbone. As you know, we can sit comfortably, we can stand, we can bend, and this is all because the backbone helps us to do it. Function is it protects the spinal cord. We have learnt about the spinal cord in nervous system. So if you don't remember, please go back to that lesson and try to understand what the spinal cord is. Limbs. As you can see here, there are two limbs, this one and this one. Now let's learn about them. Four limbs. This is the forelimb and it means our arms. And hind limbs means our legs. The longest bone of our body is the femur, the thigh bone. So this bone that you can see here, this is the longest bone in our body. And function, it helps to do activities like grasping objects and movement. Grasping objects means you can hold something in your hand with the help of your forelimbs, that is your arms, and you can move with help of your hind limbs, that is your legs. Now let's see the functions of our skeleton. It gives shape to our body, right? We are able to stand in a proper posture. We are able to sit in a proper posture because of our skeleton. It protects internal organs. Naturally, we have a lot of organs and our skeleton is made to protect them. Any injury first goes to the skeleton and then it reaches our organs. So usually our organs are safe from any kind of injury. It allows movement of different parts. So you can see here we are able to dance, we're able to sit, stand, move, and all this is possible because of our skeleton. Many hollow bones are filled with bone marrow. So here there is a pelvic bone. This is the pelvic bone, and the pelvic bone has some hollow cavity, and inside the hollow bones we have bone marrow. So bone marrow is usually filled in case the bone is hollow. And this bone marrow is very important because the red blood cells, that is the RBC, found in the blood is made in the bone marrow. So these red color cells that you can see, these are the red blood cells, and this is made in the bone marrow. So therefore bone marrow is very, very important. Cartilage. This is another thing of the skeletal system. Let's see what a cartilage is. The skeletal system also consists of tough elastic tissue called cartilage. So here you can see the cartilage is present between two bones. It's tough and elastic tissue. Now why is it present? Cartilage protects the bones at movable points. So the cartilage is present on movable points, otherwise the bone would rub against each other. If this protective cartilage is not there, then the bones will rub against each other, there will be a lot of friction and the bones might get damaged. Try touching your outer ear. You can feel very soft, something very soft. That soft part, it's a cartilage. And also the tip of your nose, that is also cartilage. Moving on to joints. The bones in the skeleton are joined to each other at places called joints. So we know what a joint is, where two points meet, and in this case where two bones meet is known as a joint. The bones held together at joint by strong flexible tissue called ligaments. So here this is a joint, this is our knee, and the bones are held together here at the joint by ligaments. You can see this is the joint and these bones are held together by this ligament. Types of movable joints. The first type of movable joint is ball and socket. Here you can see ball and socket. It literally is actually a ball and then there is a socket. So this type of structure, you can see it's in our arms, connecting our arms with our upper body, and this allows the movement. It allows movement around each other. So in this case the ball fits in the socket and this allows the movement. You can see the direction of the movement. It allows the movement around this ball, the movement. You can do the movement. So our shoulder joint, our hip joint, they can move very flexibly because of this ball and socket kind of joint. Hinge, the hinge joint. This type of joint works like a hinge. Hinges are used in doors, you must have noticed. So how do the doors move? Outside and inside they swing. So this is how the hinge joint works as well. Hinge joints, it's present in our elbows. Also it's the knee. The knee also you can move in only one direction, and the elbow and toes and our fingers, these all have hinge joints. Pivot. What is a pivot? Firstly, it's found between the skull and the first two vertebrae. Now the pivot helps us to move our head upwards, downwards and sideways. The last movable joint we are going to learn is gliding. The gliding joint, as the name suggests, it allows our bones to glide over each other. It is found in our wrist and ankle. Now let's move on to muscles, the muscular system, that is the next part of our chapter. Muscles along with bones make movement possible. Muscular system has about 650 muscles. This is our muscular system. All the muscles in our body, the number of muscles is 650. Muscles attached to bones by tendons. So this is what a tendon is. This white portion you can see here. This is the bone. This is the muscle and it is attached by this tendon. You can say it's like a glue, but in our body, this glue it's called a tissue and it's attaching the muscle, and bony attachment is the tendon. Okay, it's the glue between the muscle and the bones. Working of muscles. Let's now learn how the muscles actually work. So muscles always work in pairs. That means there are going to be two muscles always. So these are the two muscles in our shoulder, is in our arms. So how is it working? One muscle is becoming shorter and the another one is becoming bigger. So this is, you can see this is contracting, this is becoming bigger. Now this is contracting and this is becoming bigger. So this is how the muscles work. One muscle will relax and one muscle will become longer. Important thing to remember about muscles is muscle can only pull, they cannot push. So in this case, the muscles can get pulled, a muscle cannot get pushed. See the working again. This is becoming shorter, this is becoming bigger. Now reversal of this will become shorter and this will become bigger. I hope the working of muscles is clear. Now let's see the type of muscles. There are three types of muscles: voluntary, involuntary and cardiac muscles. Voluntary muscles are attached to the skeleton and they are under our control. So we control how these muscles move. Example, muscles of our leg, we can see here, also muscles of our hand, we can move them voluntarily. They are also called as skeletal muscles because they are attached to the skeleton. Involuntary muscles, they are not attached to the skeleton and their function, it is not in our control. Voluntary means something we can control and involuntary means something we have no control over. So for example, the muscles in our food pipe that is from our mouth, it goes to the stomach, and stomach and intestine, they are involuntary muscle. This is the intestine, the long intestine and the small intestine, and these are known as smooth muscles. Okay, so voluntary muscles were called skeletal muscles, involuntary muscles are called smooth muscles. Cardiac muscles, the third type of muscle. The cardiac muscles are structured like voluntary muscles and function involuntary. So the muscles of the heart, these are the cardiac muscles. They work throughout the life without getting tired at all. So these muscles are also very important. They are necessary for the proper functioning of our body. Voluntary muscles, involuntary muscles and cardiac muscles. If you have any doubt regarding anything, please feel free to ask the questions in the comment box. And I will see you soon. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and we will keep coming back with more lessons for you. Thank you. Bye bye.